Okay. Hey.
Hello, everyone. How are you doing? Welcome to the temboway. I am
Today.
Evans, one of the co-founders. This is
Paul. I am also one of the co-founders of the temboway, and today, welcome first of all for everybody that's joining us for the first time, for everybody that's joining us for the second, the millionth time. You've been to this since day one. Welcome.
day one.
Awesome. Hey. So we have been discussing a couple of things today, and we had this topic we wanted to come and speak live on, and we've kind of talked about it a little bit from the aspect of your top five, your superstar team. Excuse me as I drink my
Pretty much.
my tea.
Yeah, pretty much. We talked about top five in your circle and how those top five, they affect your success. But the question when we were discussing that we came up is, how are you affecting that circle?
Boom.
What do you bring to that circle, and how are you helping those who are in that circle to become the best of themselves?
So let me start off by saying this, and we made the comment earlier, and it goes a little something like this. Put it on a t-shirt. But if you start improving those around you, what does that mean? If you start effectively trying to make a difference in their lives, they will ultimately make a difference in the lives of everybody else around them.
Correct.
Here's a perfect example. I was listening to this podcast by Lewis Howes' School of Greatness, and he was interviewing the one and only Black Mamba, Kobe Bryant. And in there, Kobe was talking about how he went through his great teams. He had Shaq, he had all those great guys, right? Mm-hmm. And then he got on the team with the young guys. He got on the team with the party kids. And how could Kobe, a five-time NBA champion, inspire these rookies, right? So he was talking about he could have gone around, saying, all right, you got to get on this, you got to get on that. But these are grown adults. They have things. So if they have road games, how are you going to tell these grown adults, hey, don't go out and party tonight because we got a game tomorrow and we got a game the next day? Instead, this is what he would do. He'd be like, all right, we want to step out tonight. I'm going to step out with you. But in turn, that means tomorrow morning at 4 a.m, you getting up with me to work out.
Yeah.
Right? It was fun and all. He'd be out there. He'd be having fun. But then the next morning at 4:30, guess what? Knock, knock, knock. Get on up. I did my part of it. Now you got to do your part of it. He intentionally made the people around him better. Why? So that they themselves started making everybody else around them better. Another example I really could give is, now take those same young kids that are still on the squad now. Now they get put in an even better position, arguably, right? Now they're in a arguably better position because now they got LeBron. Now they have Rondo, right? Now they have Lance Stevenson, one of the undervalued greats, by the way. And they've gone through that Kobe training, and now they're going to be in this LeBron phase of their basketball career. How much better do you think they're going to be? How much more prepared do you think they're going to be? Right? How much more ready to conquer and honestly go into it as if we're going to win the league this year? How much more do you think they're actually thinking to themselves, we're winners now? Simple as that. Because Kobe took the time to make them better. Hit us with something.
And a lot of times also, we had, as he used the story of Kobe, and I think about it also in the classrooms. We have study groups. There's always that champion in the study groups.
Yes, sir.
We have a group assignment, 2-3 kids in there, and there's that one person who just takes it upon themselves. Sometimes you have to be that person in your top 5 group. You have to be that person. Take it upon yourself to say, you know what, I'm going to keep every single person accountable for what they're doing, what they're supposed to be doing, and make sure they do what they're supposed to get done.
I kind of want to comment on what it takes to be the champion of your squad. What it takes to be the
long nights.
The long nights,
The long
right?
nights. Do
So
what
first,
everyone else
your own standards for yourself have to be ridiculously high. In order to become a leader, in order to become the champion of your superstar team, in order to become the group leader of the one that makes sure that everybody else is in line, your standards for yourself have to be crazy high. If they're looking to you as the one that's saying, we're going to follow Evans's lead, Guess what? Evans has to wake up every single morning a little earlier than everybody else. Evans has to show up to all the group meetings a little earlier than everybody else. Evans has to be the one to facilitate his stuff a little more than everybody else because he's taking it upon himself to make the team better. But if you can't drive yourself, if you can't find the fire within, hashtag the fire within, if you can't find what it takes to really go next level inside yourself, how do you expect others to follow you? There's this great quote by John Maxwell. He wrote, I don't know if it's in the 21 Laws of Leadership, but inside there, he said, if you're out leading and nobody is following, then you're just out there taking a walk. I'm saying it again. If you're out there leading and nobody's walking, then fam. He didn't say fam. I'm saying fam. Then fam, you're out there just taking a walk. You might as well be staring at the sun and whistling and talking to yourself. In order for you to actually become an effective leader, in order for you to actually affect change in your circle, first of all, you got to affect change within yourself. You have to find a way to hold yourself to a much higher standard. And it's going to be hard.
Very.
Oh, it's going to suck sometimes. I know for the two of us, we took it upon ourselves at the beginning of the summer to start waking up at the crack of dawn. Getting up before the sun, right? Mm-hmm. Getting up when it's still dark outside. Going to sleep, after midnight, 1 o'clock in the morning, because we had that goal in mind. Because we wanted to be better. But in order for everybody else around us, in order for the Tembo team to be amazing, guess what happens? We ourselves had to become the grind. We ourselves had to become the people that really pushed forward. Because everybody else, in order to be a leader, everybody has to follow your lead. That's part of leading. Everybody else has to be able to follow in your footsteps. Everybody else has to take your example. And that's effective leadership, by the way. Everybody has to be able to take the example you're setting as a leader, you're setting as a team captain, you're setting as a group leader, you're setting as a superstar coach, right? Mm-hmm. And then follow in your footsteps. But if your footsteps aren't worth following because they think to themselves, yo, if E isn't getting up in the morning at 5, if E isn't doing this, if E isn't submitting all his assignments, if E isn't out there, leading by example, then why on earth should I follow? I see nothing worth being after. That's what separates fantastic, amazing group leaders, right? Fantastic circle influencers from the rest. Something as simple as becoming a social media influencer, right? People don't just follow people on social media because they need something to see on their timeline. Mm-hmm. We've come to a day and age where trading attention has become a form of currency, which means I have 24 hours in a day, and I'm going to dedicate some of that 24 hours to Evans. I'm going to dedicate some of that 24 hours to Gary Vee. I'm going to dedicate some of that 24 hours to Greg Todd, right? I'm going to dedicate some of that 24 hours to people that inspire me, right? Because they're trading for my attention, and they've bought my attention. They're effective leaders. And I'm able to follow their steps, one, because they lead through result-oriented training, right? So not only do I know they're saying some powerful stuff, not only do I know they're saying some things that change lives, but I've actually seen the difference it makes. That's what y'all have to figure out in your groups. That's what y'all have to figure out in the classroom. That's what y'all have to figure out on the field. The difference is between not only are you leading, not only are you saying all this, because it's easy to say, exciting things. It's easy to be loud. It's easy to hit a bunch of words. I could give anybody a list of things to say, and guess what? They're going to get out there and say it. And you hear it, and you're like, yeah, that's super effective. Yeah, that's super inspiring. But unless you see some results come out of it, you're not going to make the choice to lead. It takes a minute for people to actually want to follow. It takes a minute for people to actually want to be behind your footsteps. But it's through consistency, one. Mm-hmm. It's through effective consistency, rather, that's one. And it's through constant grind at a high level. Those two things, I think, are what make your effective leadership count. In the classroom, sitting down, taking the best notes. Maybe being the one that says, hey, instead of everybody just taking their own separate notes, why don't we hop on a Google document, right? And everybody take simultaneous notes at the same time. So in case I miss something, Evans has it. In case Evans missed something, I have it. In case we both missed something, guess what? Mary Sue and Bobby Joe, I don't know where those names came from. They got it. Maybe that's what it means to be an effective leader. It all depends on how you do it and whether you do it well.
Well, this is all we had for you for today. Thank you for watching The Temboway. My name's Evans, and this is Paul. Catch us tomorrow at the same time. And
all right, bet. We're going to be here tomorrow at the same time.
Let's do it.
Y'all have a great evening, great morning, great afternoon, whenever you're seeing this. Keep grinding. Learn how to be effective. Learn how to believe in yourself. Learn how to, just know that you have what it takes. You can't give what you don't have. But what you do have, learn to give. Y'all have a good evening, and we'll catch y'all.